Hello and welcome to Leaders and Their Stories. I'm Richard Lowe, your host. I'm the writing king and ghostwriting guru, and I'm here with Ben, the Automator Christensen, who has some very, very interesting things to say about automation. Ben, take it away.
Thanks, Richard. So first off, just a little bit about me. I'm what you would call an unconventional green-haired ADHD expert in automation with over 20 years of IT, security, automation, and cybersecurity background. I've saved companies $15 million and over 500,000 hours of automation completed. And what I'm very passionate about is actually automation of processes as well as making processes not suck. In fact, that's my tagline for my business is that your processes don't have to suck. And so I'd love to tell you a little bit more about some of the ways that I do that.
Let's talk about what a process is and why you would want to automate it. So let's start with an example of a process that somebody might want to automate.
So there's a lot of processes out there, and without getting technical, it could be something as simple as replying to email.
That's a good example.
A lot of people need to reply to email, and a lot of people hate composing emails. So, when it comes to automation, if you understand how you would reply to an email and what you would say or any information you might need, that is a process that can be automated, and it can just get a little bit more complex as you go along.
And what would you do for somebody who wanted to do that?
So automation of email usually is going to be best using something in the AI realm, like ChatGPT, in combination with what we call few-shot prompting. So few-shot prompting will take an example of an email that comes in and then show an example output. And you may repeat that 4 or 5 times, depending on what you would need to do to get your voice right. And it also, I guess, depends on complexity. But that would be what I would do, is I would set that up in make.com, set it up so that it's ingesting your email, seeing if it can auto-reply, create the auto-reply and draft it, and then allow you to review it.
I see. So this would handle all emails or just a particular subset?
I mean, so I actually showed my community how to do this, and I've had a couple people turn it on, and they've been pretty pleased with the amount of replies and how it's replying. And, I don't think anybody's just turned it on full bore and said, okay, just reply to everybody. But you can definitely say only reply to these type of emails, or maybe you categorize it as, only these customers or only this keyword. There's a lot of ways to filter that.
Now, I take it that that would result in some productivity savings for a business.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we spend probably, I would say upwards of hours per day replying to email. And for reference, I mean, one 5-minute daily task automated is 1% of your job.
Interesting. Well, a little more complicated example, I'm using Riverside to record this, and after the recording, there's a little bit of manual editing, which pretty much has to stay manual. Riverside has some automation features in it, but then there's some pieces that I want to post here, I want to post there, I want to take the script and put it into a web page, a whole bunch of stuff that I want to do, and I'm definitely interested in hearing about automation for that. Even partial automation would be good.
Yeah. So one of the challenges that I have going on right now is automated YouTube videos. So the way that works is you take your video, you transcribe it, you get all of the words and everything in there. That creates then summaries, that creates chapters, that creates all kinds of different things. And it's really just a matter of what platform do you want to push it out to? Do you want it to auto-publish? Do you want it to keep a human in the loop? There's all kinds of different ways to accomplish that.
So I take it there's some upfront work to create the automation. And then once it's there and debugged, obviously, you just let it loose and occasionally check it to make sure it's not messing up too much.
Absolutely. And I mean, so automation is a lifetime of ROI for a process, right? A lot of people look at it as, well, it's only going to save me time right now. No, it's going to save you time every single time it has to do that process. So if you post, 20 videos a month or something, and you no longer have to do that process, which could be an hour, could be a couple hours. I mean, it'll just keep paying for itself every month.
Yeah, no, what I'm doing is I'm scripting it in English and then I'm sending that to a VA to do. Filipino VA, she's $10 an hour. So, I don't need much time from her to do this.
For sure.
And that's my automation, but I'm sure that it would be better to be fully automated. And that's probably going to happen down the road when I get tired of paying for that.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, just a single chatbot that's trained on your style, on your voice. Like, for example, I have a process that I'm working on called the voice print system. And what it does is it analyzes 600 to 700 individual characteristics and data points about you, thereby allowing me to drop it into almost any chat GPT prompt or any AI and have it mimic me. So
nice. So we're going to have a clone of you.
Eventually. Yeah.
Digital clone.
Yep. I probably do something through HeyGen when I'm done with it. So, yeah.
Now, when I think automation, I normally think about factories being automated and big robots and things. I'm sure you've ventured into that realm at least a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. And that's one of the common misconceptions, right? Is that for automation, it's got to be factory driven. And that's not entirely true, right? Any kind of process that you have, the 5 characteristics of a good automation candidate are that you have a clear trigger, right? Something has to happen to be able to kick off your automation. Next, you need consistent inputs. You need to know what is coming in or how it's coming in, the types, things like that. And then it needs to be repeatable. If it's not repeatable, it's not automatable, right? Because if you rely on AI to do that, you're gonna really be upset with the results, right?
Of course.
Then you have your outputs and, just making decisions. That's really about it.
Now, the way I like to think of AI is as a digital assistant, and it sounds like automation is a layer on top of that, where you're not really replacing a person, you're enhancing a person.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that you've got a person working, and then that person has digital assistants that do different things. And some of them will automate things. Some of them might, for example, fill in an Excel spreadsheet the way they want. Some of them might do some writing, like you said, for emails. Some of them may do other things, answer the phone. Although I tend to hate chatbots. I get caught in chatbot hell every once in a while. Yeah, and I want to destroy the phone. But it's my phone, so I'm not going to do that. Yeah. So if you think of it, you people who are leaders out there, if you think of them as digital assistants rather than as, okay, I can get rid of 15 people. Obviously, you probably can reduce staff a bit, but you can make those other people even more productive, which means they're going to be happier. They're going to get more done, and your company's going to make more money. What do you think of all of that?
Yeah, I 100% agree, right? I like to approach AI not as a replacement or a job killer or anything like that, even though that's the way that my career has been. Replacing jobs doesn't mean that those people were out of work. What we did instead is we leveled them up, right? So if you take a SOC analyst 1 who is doing just triage and basic tasks all day, and you make that done automatically, great. Now they can actually do things that matter. They can do other processes that matter. So for leaders out there, I would approach it as investing in your people to make them more productive, which will lower your operational costs and then also allow you to get better results quicker. If you have an effective and well thought out strategy for how to use AI and what you're going to use it for and how you're going to use it, I mean, you're able to see not only increased ROI, productivity, your morale will improve. You'd be surprised how quickly morale will improve when you remove a crappy process.
Yes. And of course, this could be part of any company's digital transformation effort. And in that case, there may also be a cultural transformation. There may be other kinds of transformation that have to take place because you have to change the culture to accept this. Because if the culture doesn't accept AI, it's not going to work. And it's a very important part of digital transformation. So I hear you've told me you're writing a book. Actually, I reviewed it, and it's coming out pretty soon on Amazon. What have you got to say about that?
Yeah, man. So the book was an incredible journey, right? I'm an engineer by trade, and creating an 80-page manuscript of dense engineer does not translate well to business. So taking that with some enhancements from AI, because I'm a neurodivergent, I don't like the sound of my own voice, and that's something I'm slowly getting over. But I was able to embellish, as well as, make sure that I'm not losing any of the core message. Everything was 100% fact checked. I mean, I double checked my ROI section probably about 80 times just to make sure that it was consistent. But the book is designed as a non-technical guide to streamlining your business. So I go over the last 20 years of tips and tricks that I've used and implemented elsewhere. I give you my golden rules of automation, talking again about the good automation candidates, and then just breaking it down step by step. I probably can't say that it's like a dummies book, but it's kind of written like a dummies book, right? It's set up in a way that is repeatable, scannable, and it's ADHD friendly, because otherwise people put it down and they may want to skip ahead. Great. There is actually even TLDR sections, too long, didn't read.
Right.
So
right. Understood. What's the title of the book?
The title of the book is called Demystifying Automation, a
And it's available.
non-technical guide to streamline your business.
And it's available on Amazon?
It is available on Amazon right now with Kindle Unlimited, and I'll be releasing a paperback as well as a hardback later this year.
Awesome. Now, why would a leader, like you're a leader, why would you, a leader, want to create a book? What's the value?
So the way I would approach that is that the value here is being able to educate and get your message out to other people, as well as share from your experience. Leaders grow based on what they learn and what they experience. And good leaders or great leaders grow from learning from great leaders.
Right. That's an excellent reason to write a book, to pass along your knowledge to others in a way that they can understand.
Absolutely.
And it sounds like you've broken it down into relatable chunks so that it's not so dense and difficult to read.
Also, just wanted to say, I mean, I loved the fact that when I met with you and you were able to give me some clarity, that saved me hours, if not days, of research. And, just from your experience, what have you written? Like 80 books now?
Well over 100. I'm about to reach 120.
120. Okay, so I grossly underestimated, but I mean, it's just amazing, man. Like, it's been an incredible 4-month journey for me, and I now have the tools to be able to crank out entire series based on understanding some tricks of the trade and just one session with you.
Right, and you know how hard writing a book is. I mean, you could write it yourself, obviously, or you can hire a ghostwriter to do it for you. There's advantages to each one. Writing it yourself obviously is going to be less expensive, but it's going to probably take longer and be more frustrating. Hiring a ghostwriter is, going to cost money, but they do all the work. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, 100%. So, if I had to do it all over again, I'd probably hire at least an editor, if not a publisher, to do things. I spent probably a couple weeks trying to format my book just so that it would look good on every screen, and then didn't understand reflowable text until a couple weeks in, and then used Kindle Create only to have it actually get completely corrupted and then have to go back and redo all my edits. Luckily, with the near photographic memory I have, I was able to recreate those, but it was like 6 hours of work.
Yes. Now, if any of our listeners run into that kind of problem, that is a service that I offer. I can help with, is helping you publish your book and go through all of the steps. It's something other than ghostwriting. It's my self-publishing package. It's a little thing that I offer. So you could have come to me and I would have taken care of all the publishing steps, editing, and all that kind of stuff.
Next book.
So even if you do write it yourself, I can help you get it published where you want it. Well, all right. This has been a great interview. Thank you for your time.
Absolutely.
So I've been talking to Ben, the Automator Christensen. How can we find you?
Yeah, I'm on automatewithben.com. There you can either collaborate with me on learning things. I offer a community where we do both AI and automation. And then I'm available on pretty much any social as Ben the Automator Christensen.
Very good. And I am Richard Lowe, the Writing King and Ghostwriting Guru. You can find me at thewritingking.com or ghostwriting.guru, and I will be happy to ghostwrite your book. I also offer coaching services where you write the book, but I help you, and I offer the self-publishing service that I just told you about. So it's been fun. Thank you, Ben, for your time, and I hope this was valuable to all our listeners.